I'm here with friend of Project Next, Jackson Franklin, who's running for Congress in District 6?
District 5.
District 5.
To replace Victoria Sparks.
And you're like northern Indy?
It's like everything northeast of Indy. So it's like Hamilton County, Madison County, Delaware County, Tipton, Howard, and Grant County.
And you do have a primary. You have other candidates.
Yeah.
So if you are in that area, find out now why you might want to vote for Jackson. He was on our show a couple months ago, get the word out. So if you want to meet him more there, but this is the first time we're meeting in person.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I just watched you do an amazing speech. If you want to see the speech, just follow Jackson Franklin for Congress on your social media stuff. You can watch his awesome speech. It's a very powerful message about working class, the people representing the government instead of corporations.
Get money out of politics, Medicare
get lobbyists out.
Yeah.
And that really aligns well with Project Next mission.
Of course.
And it's really amazing to have you on the show in person and to be here. So we are at Indianapolis. We're at the State House. This is where I filed my paperwork to run for State House.
Yeah.
And I was very nervous when I did that a year ago. And we're at the 5051 peaceful protest. And this one is called
Rage Against the Regime.
Rage Against the Regime.
It's also on Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, and it's also has to do with superheroes because of Gen Con.
Gen Con's happening like right across from us over there.
Yeah, over here is Gen Con.
And there's been a lot of cosplayers, a lot of people.
I saw somebody in like a full-on, I don't know whether it's Star Wars or something.
Yeah, a lot of people just passing by. They start hearing like the megaphone, the music going on. They're like, "What's going on over there?"
Yeah.
There's a lot of people passing by, just interested in what's going on.
Parking was crazy. I'm very thankful to my brother for dropping me off today, so I didn't have to park because I'm doing a speech. So you just did a wonderful speech. I'm gonna do one soon. I'll pump it up on Project Next later. I'm really nervous about it.
You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great.
It's a good day. And why are people here? That's my question. Why are people taking a Saturday to come to the State House with their signs? Why are they doing this? Why aren't they at home with their families or whatever?
So people are tired of the authoritarianism happening in our government right now. You see Donald Trump and the rest of the MAGA Republicans and even a few Democrats that are just so beholden to this billionaire class, and they do everything that they ask for. And we're supposed to live in a democracy. We're like, we elected them to a position to represent us.
Wait a minute, we want the people to elect representatives and then they do what we want?
Radical.
Wouldn't that be nice if that actually happened? Like, so far from it.
Right now, we live in a system closer to an oligarchy than what we say is a representative democracy. Because, who's representing? It's only representing the top 1%.
Right.
So this campaign and what this 5051 protest is giving a voice to working people.
Yeah.
And that's what this campaign's all about. As we see, we've been to many 5051 protests because our messages are just right in line. Get money out of politics, expand our democracy. We need to overturn Citizens United and have public funding of our elections.
What is Citizens United? I don't know whether everybody knows what that is.
Citizens United is a Supreme Court decision that was made more than a decade ago that basically equated freedom of speech with bribing politics. Like money equals freedom of speech. Well, guess what? If money is freedom of speech, then the rich will always have the loudest voice. And in a democracy, corporate dollars have no place in our democracy. We need to represent people, not just these top CEOs that are running this country into the ground.
Yeah, you know what I found out, which was crazy? I had Wendy Dant-Chesser on. She's a State House representative. She's a friend of mine. And then I also had Kerwin Olson from Citizens Action Coalition on my show. And so I was really piecing together how things work at the State House. And I was pretty horrified to realize our elected officials in Indy take corporate bribes, take bribes from lobbyists. They get steak dinners and Pacers tickets, and then they take the lobbyists' written bills and they get them passed, and they don't even know what's in them. Yeah. I was really horrified when I realized the truth. And I'm like, how do we not do that? We have to elect people that see the problem and want to fix it. And you are one. You see it at the national level. You want to get elected to Congress. You actually have a chance because your Republican in office isn't popular, and then she didn't win by a ton. So you have a chance. He wins the primary. You have a chance.
The 5th district is the most flippable district in all of Indiana. So from a Republican to a Democrat, and not just some corporate crat. No, an unapologetic grassroots movement, right? So we're fighting for Medicare for all. You talk about State House corruption. Eli Lilly has their headquarters in Indianapolis. You ever wonder why Indiana is surrounded by states that legalize cannabis and Indiana is not? We're missing out on all that taxpayer money.
You think that's I didn't realize that, but that makes sense.
Well, they lobby all of our, like, most of our politicians.
They lobby
here.
our politicians to make sure we don't have marijuana?
Yes, most definitely.
I did not know that, but I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
this is so Jackson's not afraid to say the truth, which we are trying to do at Project Next 2. That's why we align really well. You're not going to take a bunch of donations. So you're not taking corporate.
No corporate donations. We don't want like billionaires influencing.
You're doing very similar to Bernie Sanders.
Yes, Bernie Sanders is a huge inspiration of mine. We're doing like
Me too.
Mostly it's gonna all be like small, like working class people. Like there's never gonna be like an LLC or a business. You know, on behalf of this corporation or this business, I'd like to give you money. No. It's only working class people.
So
you know,
you
and,
can't
like,
be
union.
bought.
No.
And if like
I'm beholden to the voters who
and
I'm
this
trying
could
to
happen
represent.
too. Like this could happen to me too. I could at first think somebody's good and they're doing it for the right reasons and work with them and then realize they're bad. I'd be like enough to say, oops, I made a mistake. A lot of politicians think that somebody's good and they work with them, and then it finds out they're bad and they don't come out and say like, whoops, shouldn't have worked with that person. They just keep quietly doing the bad thing, hoping nobody notices.
Yeah.
And that's why we really need brave, moral people in our government. We're forgetting the brave. We need people that can handle a bully, because what's happening in our government right now is bullies are running. Corporations are bullies with their money and their lobbyists and they're suing, their lawsuits, you know, like, and most regular people don't want to take on the bully. So they just let them get treated bad. And we need brave people. And that's one reason why I like you so much. I believe that you would not do the wrong thing, even when the right thing is really hard.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to stand up for human rights. And it's as you mentioned bullies, Tim Walz has this awesome quote where it's like, you know what happens when like a child is bullying another child? You separate him, you explain that's bad. When an adult is bullying the entire nation, bullying the whole world, you don't just put them away. You can't explain that. Right? You know what you do to those bullies? You bully them back. You shine
a light on their behavior.
Right.
You shine a light on what they're doing.
You get them the fuck out of office. That's what you do.
And we have that so bad now, not just at the national level, but at the state level in Indiana, where Indiana's now on the list that you don't want to be at the bottom, we're at the bottom. At the list where you don't want to be at the top, we're at the top. We're one of the worst states in the country now because we have a super majority and we've been bought. And our elected officials have been bought and paid for because of citizens action, like you're saying, Citizens United.
Yep.
So, you know, there's a reason why these things are happening to us. And the only way we're going to stop it is if we elect brave, moral people that are going to stand up for what's wrong.
Yeah. And it's kind of, it's a very low bar to ask a politician, can you not take corporate money? Like sometimes, like when I talk to some people in the political establishment, they're like, well, of course you're going to take corporate donations, right? And I'm like, no, nobody wants that.
And Bernie doesn't take corporate donations.
No.
So you said in your speech his average one was $27.
And then like Hillary Clinton's was like the average was like $2,500. I don't know.
Wow.
Some very high number, right? So someone fact check that. But it was like, yeah, you can definitely tell which one's the grassroots movement trying to have a vision for the future and which one is just vying for political power.
And you mentioned it just now, or at the beginning of our talk, it's Democrats too. Yep. It's not like we're here saying one side is good and one side is bad.
No.
Both sides
we call balls and strikes.
Both sides accept this bad money, and we have to call it out on both sides. We can't act like one side is all good and one side is all bad. They're both bad. Yeah. There are good people on both. There are few good people. There aren't as many left on some sides, but there are still good people in there, but they're not the majority. So we got to get the majority of good people.
Something to know is like there is light at the end of the tunnel here.
Yes.
And you know, we will overcome. We're not outnumbered. If there's anything you can take,
more of us than of them.
We are only out organized. And with people's movements, we have to get organized.
And we've seen before, billionaires have tried to come in and like get themselves elected for office, and it's not working.
Look what Elon Musk
tried to get, like
Wisconsin.
What? Yes, he tried to dump money in something and it didn't work. We can beat money, but we need your help. We need grassroots, everyday people, and we need unity, not yelling. That's where I get upset. I see too much fighting amongst parties, like Democrats fighting with Democrats. We need to stop that crap, and we need to work together regardless of whether you think that person is perfect or not.
On certain issues. Yeah.
Because I'm not perfect. Also, I don't know everything. So sometimes I think things that might be wrong and I'll figure it out. But like, if somebody gets mad because I say one thing wrong on a live, and just like turns it off. How does that help?
I don't discredit. Like, let's say someone doesn't, disagrees with me. We talked a lot about money and politics. If someone disagrees with me on money and politics, all right, you have a terrible opinion on that. I think that we should have democracy. You think that you should have an oligarchy. This is like, hey, democracy that has no vice. We're not going to compromise with that. But if it's like, okay, I think we should tax the businesses 30% and you think 29. I'm like, okay, well, that's like negligible.
Yes, I get what you're saying.
There are negligible things. There's some things like if they don't believe in human rights, like they don't think that like trans rights are human rights or women's rights are human rights.
I'm still not going to stop talking to them though.
I don't.
Because I'm going to try to convince them to be on my side.
Always you got to do the good work. You got to do the legwork that is needed to save our democracy.
Because I have a lot of friends that are too extreme right now, and they're kind of believing the far to the left propaganda. And it doesn't mean I stop talking to them. I freaking love them. They're my friends. But when I talk to them, I'm going to try to get them to see that my neighbors in Palmyra that are Republican are not bad people. And so if we stop talking to them, and we turn them away, they just become more extreme because they're hurt by that loss of friendship and they become even more extreme. So what are we doing? Just gonna get more to the left and more to the right and more division and more division? No, we need unity.
I feel like far left propaganda is people should be able to eat and have a house.
I agree with you.
Far right propaganda is like we need to exterminate the Jews.
But so that doesn't mean
it's not equal on both sides.
I'm not saying
there are like
be friends.
If you're talking
this is
like,
a good question. So
okay.
I'm not saying befriend the people that are pumping out the bad propaganda. I'm saying befriend the people that believe the propaganda and have been tricked, but they're actually good people. That's there's a difference.
I've convinced a lot of actually self-described conservatives.
Yes.
Because they don't realize that they like the populist message that this campaign has, for instance, is very attracting to working class people. Because it's like you go talk to your Republican neighbor, your conservative, whatever. They agree with Medicare for all. Like, it's something they don't want to tell you. And like the issues in this nation right now, it's not left versus right. A lot of times the real problem, the real fight is top versus bottom.
Yes.
If we realize that things are not left versus right, but it's actually right versus wrong, like all of us working people, we're all on one team.
Yeah.
It's like the bottom 99% versus that top 1% that are bribing our politicians, sending our jobs overseas, breaking down our unions. We need to stand together in solidarity and fight
We
back.
have to always see that the people at the top want us fighting. The people at the top want us fighting with our neighbors that voted differently than us. And until we see that and recognize it and fight against it and befriend our neighbors that voted differently, we're going to be stuck. Because we have to get so many people on our side. And if we keep saying, you're not good enough for me, I'm kicking you out, how are we going to win?
Well, it's not, to a point. I would say there are some
we
things.
We should have a show. I'm going to invite you back.
We could have a whole discussion about that.
Because I was more like you. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Yeah, I was more like you when I'm 25. Now that I'm 44, I have learned so much more. Not saying, and you are very smart and way more political than I was when I was 25. I was just teaching and busy all the time. But I understand exactly what you're saying because I used to be that just a few years ago.
There's just some things that are too far. So
but you have to make a definition. Is it someone who believes this thing that's wrong because they've been tricked, or is it the person pumping out the wrong
If it's
stuff?
like a politician, I hold no mercy.
Right.
Like you got in this game, your whole life is politics.
With you, but what about the people voting for the politicians?
Oh, no, that's different.
That's who I'm talking about.
Okay,
and
that's the next up there.
Right now, we're going after the voters and we're attacking them and accusing them of being bad people. When I'm saying most of them are good people, they're just being tricked.
Oh, most definitely.
That's what my speech is going to be about.
100%.
Yeah. So see, we figured out our differences right here.
Yeah.
Because
I
feel
about
like we're mostly on the same page.
Most definitely. Oh yeah. Of course.
But
everyone's mostly on the same page.
But when I say
it,
you didn't get what I meant, so I had to work on it. I had to work on making sure you know who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about
the voters. You got to talk about the
elected officials. I'm talking about the voters we got to get, or the non-voters. A lot of people have turned off political news because of the fighting. They hate the fighting. They're disgusted. They're like, I'm just not voting.
You got to have a message of hope and a vision for the future. Yeah. You can't just be like, oh, I'm against that. I think a lot of Democrats have lost their elections recently because they're just anti-MAGA, but they don't actually stand for anything. That's why, like, my campaign, we're very proud.
And don't be scared to talk to a MAGA person.
Oh, yeah.
They're great. Most of them are great. Some of them are scary. Some of them make scary comments on my Facebook.
A lot of people just don't
some of them
understand
just don't know. They don't get. Where's your friend? What's his name?
Winning.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yes, he can.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to get. Where's your friend? What's his name?
Joseph.
I want to get Joseph on if we can find him. If not, I'll just turn it off. I'm about ready to go. Go to his Jackson Franklin for Congress. He's on everything. He's got a website. He relies on grassroots, regular people donating what they can. So if you like his message like I do, please donate 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks to his campaign and sign up for his stuff. And if you live in District 5, District 5, you can vote at the primary May 5th. There's other people running. If you like what Jackson is saying, you can vote for Jackson. I'm proud of you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
I hope we keep meeting in person again. I wish we lived closer.
You're going to do great on your speech. Last message, if you want to have Medicare for all, you think healthcare is a human right, you want to tax the rich, you want to have paid family leave, you want to unapologetically fight for women's rights, gay rights, trans rights, all these rights, right? So we need to stand together in solidarity as a working class people's movement and take on these fascists and get them out of office come 2026.
You rock.
Thank you so much.
Also, he's a triplet, and there's one more of him that looks just like him. His name's Julian, and it confused me for a while. I was like, does he have 2 names? But I think that's your superpower.
Yeah.
You have triplets.
It's like Ricky Bobby. You know, Jackson Franklin. Some people are like, hey, Franklin Jack. Nah.
As long as you get the name right, it doesn't matter which way. Just
I go by both. I'll roll.
Call him Franklin. He doesn't care. Right.
Yeah, I'm in the military. We go by last names anyway. So.
You're awesome.
All right.
I hope we see each other more. Janet, do you want to get on a second?
Sure.
Here's another Project Next friend, Janet Wall-Myers. I did not know she was tiny and adorable when we did the live. Look at this. Adorable. So cute. You're one of the 5051 volunteers.
Yes.
Yes.
Unpaid protesters.
Unpaid protester. I like those shirts. Yes. I'm about ready to do a speech. Do you know what time I'm doing it? Pretty soon?
That is a great question for Lisa.
I'm going to do the speech soon. I'm a little nervous. I'm doing my speech.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. I am going to do the speech on The Boys, the show The Boys, and how fascists act like they're the real superheroes, but they're not. They're the bad guys. And then I'm also going to tie it to propaganda and how we are all susceptible to propaganda, even the far left. What? No. So I'm going to say some controversial things at this protest and try to unite our communities.
Yes.
Why do you do this, amazing girl?
Because
Amazing,
I can't
adorable,
just stop.
I can't handle it. It's too cute. I just want to hug you.
No, I have a niece and I have a nephew, and I don't want to ever have to answer them to why I let their rights be stripped away from them.
So true, so true,
so
true.
You know, that's not something that I ever want to have to account for. I don't want to be like the people in Nazi Germany that their kids and their grandkids ask them where the fuck were you?
Why did you let this happen? And be like, well, it was too powerful for me and I was scared.
Like when I asked my mom, where were you during the civil rights movement? Because my mom's older, she doesn't have an answer, and I don't want anyone to look at me the way I look at her about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There were a lot of people mad in Germany at their grandparents. You know, and I get, when you look at what happened, I get why it happened. I have a lot of empathy for it.
Right.
And there was so much denying of people actually dying.
Yeah.
And
they kept it
and there was so much
walls
propaganda where they kept it away. You didn't know people were being murdered. You didn't know that the starving and the concentration camps and the spraying and the trains thinking they were going to take a bath, and they didn't know that was happening.
But what's our excuse now? They're selling T-shirts to Alligator Alcatraz.
I think it's the propaganda. I think it's the propaganda, and I think people are getting tricked, and that's what I'm going to try to do by speech, because I have empathy for people being tricked, not the politicians voting the wrong way. I have empathy for the voters voting for those people thinking that they're doing the right thing, because they're not seeing the same thing we're seeing. There's attack on news.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I started my own media company to try to get the truth out, you guys. I mean,
right, and it's so easy if your life is an echo chamber and all you hear is, oh, those immigrants, everything's their fault. If nobody in your life ever says, what about the guy that cooks your food at the restaurant?
Yes.
Don't you realize that's who you're talking about? Unless somebody connects the dots,
if you are scared of immigrants, please become friends with one and realize they're human beings, shocker.
Yes.
And most human beings are good, other shocker. And we should go after actual bad guys committing crimes, harming people, and not innocent people that look different from us or were born in a different country. I know, but it's the easiest way to spread fear.
It is.
And another easy way is to act like they're hurting kids, because that's how they attack public education. They attack teachers. It's
Right.
you know.
Say they're hurting
They have their
children.
little tricks. Yeah. I'm gonna get. Oh gosh, I can't remember his name again. I think it was Joshua. Do you know that guy's name? I'm gonna get one more person on.
Jackson Franklin?
No, who's next to him? That guy. I'm gonna get him on.
I've never met him before.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on
when
Project
you're
Next.
done, there's some organizations after your speech.
I'm gonna do another
there's some
Project Next
organizations
live.
that
Will you
would
help me?
definitely- Yeah.
Let's do it. So after my speech, I'll do another Project Next live, and we'll meet the organizations that are here. You can take me through them, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
You're awesome,
Let's do
girl.
it.
Okay. Before I do my live, okay, here we go. I
What's
think
up?
I'm about ready to present, but tell us your
Hello.
name.
My name's Joseph Souza. I'm here today volunteering with the Franklin campaign. I'm just taking pictures of this awesome protest organized by 5051. Yeah.
I'll try to help you on again because I'm about ready to go on my speech, you guys.
Oh,
So
right
try to
on.
come on next time. Okay, bye everybody.
Yes.
Okay, good job.
You're
I'll
going
try.
on?
I think so.